The hips are, in the truest sense of the word, the pivots of our body. However, many are very immobile there, which can lead to pain and restricted movement in the hips and other negative consequences throughout the body, such as leg length discrepancies, pelvic misalignments, as well as knee and ankle problems, and even back pain. Even with these two special Liebscher Bracht exercises, which you can now do directly, you will also make your hips more flexible and smoother day by day. And in the end, I will show you how you can easily and effectively relax a muscle that often contributes significantly to these problems. I don't know which mobility of the hip is restricted for you, but the one you know, why not try to push it to the limit? Also release tension or pain and connect with your pain. Let him say what's wrong with you. Take note of it so that you can compare later when we have done both exercises. And feel free to write a comment so that you can compare before and after. So a preliminary comment, so to speak, before the exercises. And now we do the following. Now please go with your left leg in front of you on the mat, 90 degrees in the left knee, and go back with the other leg nice and far. It may now be that in order to achieve this, you are lying on the ground like this. So if you're feeling a bit off, it would be better if you click here. There are a few exercises that are less complicated. You can start doing that until you eventually become capable of doing it. I would say the border is like this. It's still pretty crooked, but you're already a little straight. If you manage at least that, then do it like this. By the way, if it helps you to straighten up a bit, start with the angle here. That means we have two adjustment screws, so to speak. You can gradually raise your leg higher over time until you reach 90 degrees. And over time, push yourself further and further vertically or towards vertical to increase the stretch. Wherever you are, go in there so that you set a stretch now that is just still tolerable, and now we wait to see what happens. You push yourself steadily a little further with the trunk to the right back, approximately there, with the left hand, and notice the stretching in the left buttock, in the left groin, as well as in the right groin. You probably notice something on the left side of the pelvis. Always take the point where you feel the most intensity. Always take this point as the boundary, so to speak. And then you wait until everything has settled a bit again. What happens there is quite simple. What you pull on, muscles fascia gives way. And the more it gives in, the lower the intensity, so you can always go a little further into the stretch. Beautifully go in deeper. If you are already quite challenged now, just stick with it and continue with us. If there is still something you can do, which you want to increase, then press the left foot as hard as possible into the ground. If you want to increase even more, then press your right knee as hard as possible into the ground and do the special strength training that is incorporated into these exercises. Press firmly, release again, and then push yourself further with your left arm so that you always come up more upright with your torso. Then you take a breath, wait again until the new stretch is accepted by the body, and press again with your left foot as hard as possible, as if you wanted to make a dent in the ground. Press firmly. And additionally, if you like, press firmly with your right knee as well. Now press foot and knee. And relax, and go a little further into the stretch, pressing the body even more upright. We'll do it again, left foot presses, and if you don't want to press yet, then you stay and keep going further into the stretch. A lot is already happening there. Now again, you press with your left foot and press with your right knee. Press correctly, press, and let go and go further into the stretch. And then we slowly go out. Move slowly after such intense stretches, especially if you are doing them for the first time. Then you really have to move carefully afterwards, because the body first needs to adjust what happened there. And so that was the language of the body, what happened there, and continue going backwards with the left leg, if possible, right angle. If not, just make the angle tighter, smaller, push yourself further now to the left back in this direction and enjoy the stretch. Feeling-wise, of course, it is a bit painful, but not painful in the sense that it hurts and you have to resist it. It must hurt so much that you don't have to defend yourself, neither mentally nor physically. Not that you have to clench your fist to endure that. It's all too much. It must, I always say, be like an active vacation. An active vacation, you also do a bit of action, you do something, you don't just lie around lazily, but it's still fun. It is not overwhelming or anything. And just like such an active vacation, your morning exercises must be. My tip, go on a short vacation every morning for 15 minutes. When you come back, you will feel better. Maybe you feel better after the 15 minutes of exercises in the morning than during the real vacation after a week, I don't know. But it could be, at least regarding the pain. I'm talking big again here, right? But these are not promises, they are possibilities. You have a great opportunity. And keep pushing yourself further to the left. Keep pushing further to the left, and now you also push here with your right foot against the ground, with your left knee against the ground. Push firmly, make a dent. If you press a dent in it and send me a photo of it, and it's not a sandy or soft clay soil, but a wooden floor, a solid one, then I'll really come up with something. Press correctly, right foot presses, left knee presses, press correctly against the ground, let go, and push a little further into the stretch yourself. But not with speed, nice and gentle, also seated on the right. You notice again, right hip, left side, maybe also right side. And press again, right foot, left knee if possible. If not, let it press away. You still have a good effectiveness. Right foot, left buttock, what is that? Knee, relax and go further in. And slowly move out again and stand up and try to feel what you feel. And do you notice any difference? It could very well be. Don't be surprised or shocked if it already feels better. That is possible. Write a comment about what has happened there, and I really love a thumbs up of enthusiasm, as you know, or maybe you only know from now on. Now go, hold on to something, the table, the chair, the windowsill, the car, it doesn't matter. And spread your legs wide apart until you feel, oh, now it pulls here on the insides of the thighs. You stay there for a moment and correct the position of your pelvis. And normally one tends to go into a hollow back, then one avoids the stretching. If you stay straight and activate the buttocks a little, you can bring the groins forward and slightly pull in the belly button. And then you notice the train becomes tighter, and that's exactly where you need to practice. Because if you practice with a bent hip, the hip flexor will fall out. This can be done if you want to specifically target the adductors. But actually they belong together. It doesn't make sense to have the adductors free. The hip flexor is still too short, and therefore it is best to align the hip and keep going, in my opinion, keep going to the side. I will explain to you how. Move the weight slightly backwards so that the heels are more loaded, and turn the feet outward, the forefeet. Then you go forward so that the forefeet are more stressed and come with the heels a little bit outward. And then back again, and the forefeet forward again, and the heels. And you do that until you feel like you can't do more, because it still has to be positive. And now you press with both feet as hard as possible, more and more, as if you wanted to pull your feet together. And relax again. And you notice you can move a little further to the side. And once again, the feet want to come together. Even more, even more, even more. Loose again. And a little further apart. And once again, contract the feet. More and more contracting, letting go, and a little further apart. And now the whole thing backwards. Always with small implementation steps. In the end, it goes faster. And feel deeply and write a comment, and don't forget the thumbs up of enthusiasm. Feel it, compare with before how it feels now. And now I'll show you something very relaxing. Now take an SI joint and sciatic nerve stretcher or a coconut or something from the household that has a similar shape. If possible, also a little round below. Coconut is round everywhere. You just have to look at the size to see how it fits. What do we do with it? We lie down on it. With what? With the buttocks. Why? Because the gluteal muscle is where most tension usually occurs in people. And when you lie on it, it feels like a really good self-massage. And you can relax and first find the point where it hurts the most. And then, by lifting the hip, adjust it in such a way that you can just bear it well. And then you take a book or your phone or listen to music, have a conversation, whatever. And during this time, gravity is at work and makes the exercise for you. And the great thing about the exercise is that when you afterwards, no idea, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, come down and stand up, then be surprised how that feels. You see here are different parts. And now I have taken the sharpest part and placed the rounding on top. And look at what I'm doing. I can now wonderfully massage myself there and can ensure that the gluteal muscle in all its depths, where the bone occurs, the receptors, assuming that this is the function that has such a relaxing effect, and the trigger points roll away and all that, that is possible with it. And now for something completely different. This is our SI joint and sacroiliac joint stabilizer. We have developed these aids, of which there are several, to make practicing easier for you so that you have better results and so that you can practice on the side without having to spend extra time for it. If you want information about it, please click here or on the image below the video. And there you get everything that interests you. And you know, the hip is so important for running, especially as people get older, as you get older, as I get older. The hip should remain mobile in order to be able to engage in sports and to be able to move. That is health ultimately. And please spread it around because of that. There are so many people who have problems with their hip, who eventually develop arthritis and do not want to have surgery. They just sit at home all the time. That doesn't bring anything. Tell them about the exercises, show them the exercises, tell them about the canal, watch the exercises together with them and motivate them to do it. They will thank you for the rest of their lives because once they understand what they can do for themselves, they will credit you for giving them the information. If you want to practice something for the hip with beginner exercises, as a beginner, not yet with such complicated stories, then please click there. If you click down here, you will come directly to the SI joint in sciatica savior. And if you click here, then you can subscribe. You probably already have, but if you haven't, please do it quickly so you don't miss any videos and also activate the bell. Otherwise, nice that you were there. Goodbye